Welcome,
Ladies and
everyone.
gentlemen.
This is Michael Humphrey, Humps Heroes, podcast number 15. It's Saturday morning, January 20th, and I am going to be heading to South Lenore High School for a live edition of the Game of the Week, which is a wrestling match, the Paul T. Mills Junior Invitational, sponsored by South Lenore and by the Farmhouse Restaurant in Deep Run, right there, right by the school, right at the old Teachees building. Penny Harper and husband Freddie opened up the farmhouse, and you probably hopefully you saw or read my blog or listened to my podcast when I spoke with Penny about the restaurant and what they have, and they have sandwiches and subs and pizza and salads and soups and ice cream. It's just an awesome place. If you're listening to this now and you're heading to the tournament, make sure that you take some time to step over to the farmhouse today in Deep Run, right across the street from South Lenore High School. So, and ahead of that, I had a chance to talk to Carlos Dodd, the head coach of South Lenore, who organizes Paul T. Mills Invitational. Paul Mills was a student at South Lenore Wrestling, a wrestler. He was in the U.S. Navy and passed away at a very young age. So Coach Dodd decided to name this tournament, change the name to the Paul T. Mills Junior Invitational. This is the third year that it's being held, and it's being held today, January 20th at South Lenore High School. And I spoke to Coach Dodd and asked him to give me his background. He actually went to Kinston High School, wrestled there, went to NC State, and I found something very interesting about the guy. You know, not only is he and I both, that's our alma mater, but he wrestled under a legendary coach at NC State.
Yes, sir. I wrestled at Kinston High School, graduated in '96, and went on to wrestle at NC State. I was a walk-on onto their team and wrestled for them. And then I came back here, and when I came back here, in the area, I was friends with one of the coaches out at South Lenore, and he was trying to start wrestling up. So we actually started our program for the first time in 2005 here. And then he ended up leaving, and then we brought in another coach, and during this time I was assisting. And then the third year we had a team, they selected me to take the position of head coach. And then we kind of went from there.
Coach Carlos Dodd has built the South Lenore program up, and he credits those days wrestling at NC State for his success and how he handles and runs a program. Coach Bob Guzzo coached at NC State for 31 years as a legendary coach. He won 7 titles with 7 wrestlers and also won 2 gold Olympic medals as the head coach at NC State. And he talks about his time there and his Coach Guzzo and what it was like to be at NC State during that time.
He did 31 years and he retired. I think he retired in 2008 or 9, somewhere in there. 1 or 2, but he did have, he ended up with 7 national champions, I think. And we had conference titles. We had probably 10 to 14 somewhere. I know we had 9 in a row at one point in time. And then I think he ended with maybe 14 somewhere in there, conference titles.
As I mentioned, this is the third time the tournament's been scheduled, but only the second time Coach Dodd explains that they will actually go through with the tournament. And Coach Dodd explains how it came about and why he named it the Paul T. Mills Invitational.
It's really a tournament that originally started in Tarboro. And I, myself and the Tarboro coach, we kind of got together and we wanted to do a tournament for, smaller teams. And so we kind of chose this and we started doing it. And after that, Tarboro lost their team a couple years ago. And so I wanted to keep the tournament going. And, when I did that, I moved it back over here, and we had just had a wrestler not too long ago that had passed away. He went into the military. He was in the Navy.
Oh, wow.
And so I changed the name of it in honor of him.
Originally, 10 schools were scheduled to attend to this morning's event that starts at 9:30 at South Lenore High School, but a few of them had to pull out because of the conference tournament that was scheduled during this time. But 6 schools are attending this morning, and it should be a very competitive setup and matches.
We have North Lenore, South Lenore, Northeast Carolina Prep, Tarboro, North Johnston, and Goldsboro.
Todd mentioned two schools that stand out. Northeast Prep, who always have had traditionally a strong wrestling program, will bring some strong wrestlers. And North Lenoir Hawks, who will wrestle with 3 wrestlers, maybe 4.
From Northeast Prep, they have a guy named Ryan Mann. He's really good. He's only I think he's a junior this year, but as a sophomore, he'd already reached his 100 career wins by his sophomore year. Matter of fact, he got his 100 career win at our tournament last year.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and he was undefeated last year up until the state finals. He ended up losing in the state finals, but I mean he's an amazing wrestler. He won our most outstanding wrestler last year at our tournament, and he's really good. Northeast has got several other good wrestlers.
Coach Dodd feels pretty good about his chances with his team as he talks about some of the wrestlers that will compete this morning.
Yeah, we've got several that we have. Starting at our underweight class at 106, we got Joseph Maples is definitely one. Really strong wrestler. He'll do very well. As far after that, we have at 126, we've got Chris Harrow. He's a returning he's a 3-time state qualifier.
Wow.
Last year he placed 6th in the state. So he'll be there. Bladen Davis at 132. He's a state qualifier from last year. At 150, we have Hayden Tyndall. He's a JV wrestler that came up to varsity this year, and he's put up a great showing too. So he'll be one to watch. He's wrestled some really tough competition and been very strong against tough competition. Jed Day at 157. He's another one when he wrestles, he's exciting to watch most of the time because there's no telling what he's going to do.
When he hits somebody on the football field, he goes at full blast. So I can't wait to see Jed wrestle.
Yeah. Aiden Ziegler at 175. He'll be one to watch. He comes from a long line of Zieglers that I've coached, and every one of them have been great athletes, and he's following in the footsteps this year, so he's going to be one definitely to watch also. We have several others, depending upon the day how they wrestle, whether they do well. I mean, 144 Manny Lopez, he's 144 to 138. He's one that can surprise you. 113 Angel Crespo, and depending upon how he wrestles, also at 150 or 157, Pablo. He's pretty good too. So we've got several that, could surprise some people on any day.
As I mentioned, North Lenoir will have several wrestlers attend, and one that will stand out is Everett Rouse.
I've got 3 that I know that are, solid, very solid wrestlers. They've got I think he's going to wrestle probably 175. Everett Rouse is one of their better wrestlers right now. I mean, he's doing extremely well. Kane at their heavyweight position, Kane has made a lot of improvements. So he is extremely solid this year, and I've watched him wrestle several times, and he's been very impressive. And then they've got, I think at 132, Michael Barrow. He's been a very solid wrestler also this year.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I like that guy. I like Carlos Dodd. He graduated from state. I mean, why wouldn't I like the guy? He coached under he played under a legendary, wrestled under the most legendary coach, one of them at NC State, Bob Guzzo, who was there when I was there. What an amazing story, man. Rudy like. So check me out today, y'all. Y'all come out at 9 a.m. 9:30 is when the wrestlers will start. The first match begins. I'm getting ready to head out there. Also, remember, I'm sponsored by the Farmhouse in Big Run, right at the old Teachers Building, the Farmhouse Restaurant. Also, Inkable's screen printing and embroidery. Chrissy and Reed Rouse right there. And Reed has the club team in LaGrange, him and his son Channing. And so if you're interested in some more instruction, please contact Reed Rouse or Chrissy Rouse right there at Inkable's. and I want to thank them out of LaGrange for help sponsor as well. So anyway, I will see y'all there. Turn up the bass.